Started here. Okay. Hello, everyone. As a lot of you know, I'm Carly. I am the graduate assistant for student organizations. And as I said earlier, my main role here is to help and support you guys. I am getting my master's in occupational therapy here at Towson. And as Chris said, it is my last semester in my role. So if you come say hi to me before the semester ends, and I really enjoyed working with you guys a lot. So today I'm going to be doing a presentation on member retention. A lot of the material from this presentation is from my personal experience. So some of my background is I was in many different student organizations, as well as Greek life at the University of Maryland in College Park when I was in my undergrad. And a lot of the tips and tricks that I learned was from my time in leadership roles and just learning how do I encourage people to come back, and how do I get members to be engaged and want to keep coming back to the organization that I'm part of. Because for me, it was always easy to be really passionate about being a member of my organization, but sometimes it's harder for other people. So I'm going to get my presentation up here. Okay, perfect. Slideshow. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is member retention. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so just quickly in the chat, just say your name, the organization you're representing, and what you're looking forward to the most this semester. Sorry if you can see that. Seeing members of your club again. Yeah, definitely. Meeting new people, that's a great one. Graduating in May, congratulations, it's coming up. Putting on events members will appreciate, definitely. Graduating, collaborating with other organizations, reuniting and growing with your members, it's awesome. Having more interactive meetings, working with other organizations, networking, awesome. Influencing others positively, I love that. Learning something new. Yeah, there's always something new to learn. That's something that I've seen in time. So awesome. Thank you guys so much for sharing that. I think for me, I am the most excited. I'm finishing my schoolwork and I will be moving on to my clinical. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm excited to have an amazing last semester at Towson. Okay, so what is retention? So I just use some of these keywords here: active, positive, prevent, connect, and goal. So being active. So retention is all about keeping your active members active. So the people that come, you want them to keep coming back. You want to give them something to look forward to, so that the period that they're active is not a short period. It's the full duration of their time at Towson. Positive. So you want to create that positive experience, as someone said in the chat, influencing other people in a positive way. So having that positivity, whether that's in yourself, in your whole leadership board, that's a really big piece, because when you have that, it motivates other people to want to be around you. So when you're creating this healthy, positive environment, people want to keep coming back to that environment. Prevent. So it prevents members from dropping out. So when you have good retention within your organization, you usually have a strong membership base. And that doesn't always have to mean that it's a large membership base, just a strong foundation of your organization that keeps people coming back, so that your organization stays active throughout time. Connect, so keeping the connection between members and learning about each other. So as James was saying earlier, really having that deep connection with people rather than a superficial level. So when you're asking like how your members are on a week-to-week basis, really just diving deep and really showing that you care and that you want to connect and learn about what's going on with them. And goal. Making sure that your existing members want to come back and remain active throughout their time in TU. So this connects back to the active piece. But for you guys as student organizations, you want to have that retention so your club keeps going on after you graduate, as a lot of you said you are in May. You want to see your organization flourishing and having that active membership base after your time at Towson is done. Okay, so additional organization values that help keep retention high. And these are just some things that I've seen in my time. One of my roles when I was in Greek life at University of Maryland was doing organization attendance. And I learned a lot about our members through that, about what kind of events and what kind of values in our events keep people coming back. So sometimes it's about integrating these different values into the different events you're putting on, into the different meetings that you're having, and showing people that these things don't have to just like happen formally, but these are all things that can happen casually, whether that's connecting with someone one-on-one or in a larger group environment. So the first thing that I saw was support. So supporting one another, and that doesn't always have to mean in your club endeavors. So maybe that means going to someone's recital or concert for another organization they're a part of, or, someone, had a hard time on an exam or test during the week and just texting them and reaching out and, showing your support. And if you're in the same class as them, maybe asking if they want to do a study group or something like that. So there's a lot of ways that you can support your members and help them flourish as a person outside of your organization. And also for people in leadership, sometimes some of these values, such as support, can be, if you see someone in a leadership position that's really struggling, helping support them in that role. So this can look like a lot of different things. Empathy. So as I said before, we all are human, and sometimes things happen in people's lives. So just showing that empathy that, maybe someone didn't come to the meeting today and your first reaction is, oh man, like, I can't believe this person didn't show up. Like, maybe just going deeper and being like, did something happen? Are you okay? And like, stressing that, because especially during college, a lot of stuff can come up. So it's important to, check in with them on that basis and make sure that, everything's going okay in their lives. Community. This is another one that James touched on. Usually when you have that community, that encourages people to want to come often, because it's a group of people that they feel comfortable being their true selves with. And that's all about what community is. So creating that environment within your organization will not only keep your retention high, but also impact positively things like recruiting efforts. Success. So a lot of times for a lot of our student organizations, you have big events, and a lot of those events, when they're successful, can positively influence retention. So whether that's you have success because you're really organized on the front end, or you just had a really big turnout on the back end after the event, or in general, doesn't mean that a lot of people were in attendance, but if you feel that event was successful to your personal definition of success, is really the important part with this. And last, fun. When people have fun, they want to keep going back somewhere. They want to do that thing for as long as they can. So that means in your organization, if you're creating that fun environment where people can just be themselves and connect with others, that makes them want to keep coming back because they're having a lot of fun. Okay, just a question for you guys, and you can put this in the chat too if it's easier. Why do you stay active in your organization? Because a lot of you guys here, you've taken on those leadership roles. So I'm just curious to see why do you choose to stay active? Let me stop sharing for a second just so I can see the chat.
Hello.
Hello.
I choose to stay active because I feel like the passion for it, like what I like what's it called? I'm in models of distinction, so it's like the passion behind it, and for the fact like they starting out, of course, not in a leadership role,
Mhm.
and then like just naturally growing, and then like when we do the board, it's basically like people in the group that voted for you to be this in this position. So it's like when others see the potential in you to be great, it kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes me keep wanting to like keep going sometimes.
Oh yeah. And especially when you're a new member and you're just building up that passion and people are telling you, we could really see you as a leader in this organization, or you're doing such a great job. We really enjoy you being here. That only helps fuel your passion and makes you really want to keep going and have that, be active in that organization. So I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Awesome. So anyone else that wanted to share?
Hello.
Hi.
Um, I would say that I stay active because it's a hobby that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the Creative Writing Club on Towson, and I just feel like there aren't enough spaces that are like freely available, emphasis on free, to students to like engage in the hobby. And so I just wanted to foster a community where like people can share and like get comments on their work. So yeah.
Yeah. And just having that similar passion, like for whatever you're doing in your organization, really drives people. And as you said, in Towson, when you have that opportunity to all these clubs and organizations where, I mean, depending on the structure of your club, maybe sometimes you have to pay a certain fee or stuff like that. But for a lot of our student orgs they're able to run without students like paying a lot of money towards that organization. So when you have that opportunity to not have to worry about the cost as much and you just get to do what you're passionate about with other people on campus is really, really nice and really motivating. Okay, let me see. Anyone else? Or also go through some of the ones in the chat. Yeah, Jay? I don't know if I can hear you.
You know,
Yes, I can hear you now.
okay, it's something wrong with my earbuds.
No
Anyways,
worries.
I just restarted a club last semester, the Naturalistas, which is like a natural hair club for people of color. And one reason why I'm really active in this club is because I'm really passionate about natural hair, and the Black community has been discouraged to wear their natural hair strands out. So I'm just trying to help people embrace their natural hair. I also have really good e-board members that I'm really happy to be with, and just seeing a community that I'm building with other people, and just seeing people wanting to be active in our club, it just makes me happy. So that's why I choose to continue to stay active and do my best as a president.
Awesome. I love that. And like having that cause that you're passionate about, and then also for you building your club up to the to back up from before, and just seeing there's all these other people that have this cultural connection to what you're doing and really want other people to do the same and feel comfortable in their own skin. That's a really, really great point. Okay, let's see. Some other people in the chat said they want to impact others, to connect and grow, to share the culture and perspective to everyone, to help grow others grow. Yeah, leaving a legacy and impact. That's really cool. Growing your career. Yeah, a lot of clubs on our campus, you want to stay active because it really helps you network. And I've talked about this in other ones of my workshops, but networking on Towson's campus will help you once you leave Towson's campus, whether that's in your student org, in your classes. All those opportunities for you at your fingertips right now will only help you in your futures. Something you enjoy, opportunity to create events and feel like I contributed to something. Plus, I like keeping busy. I can definitely relate to that. And yeah, as a student org leader, you really get that opportunity to create something through these events that you guys put on. Commitment to community building, awesome. A safe space for others to express themselves, that's super important. Amazing community. Stay active because of the people. Yeah, and that's really a huge one for me that I reflected on a lot of my organization involvement, is the people were what kept me coming back, the people that motivated me, that told me that I could take on that leadership position, and that had that positive influence were really great to have those friends once you leave the organization too. Okay, so let's go back to my slideshow. I apologize, I keep flipping back and forth, but my slideshow doesn't like to show me the chat when I have it open. Okay. So why is retention important? So without member retention, you wouldn't have an active organization, as I talked about before. Retention keeps people coming back. So think about all those reasons that you just told me, why you stay active in your organization. So when you go to your club's meeting and your club's events, you want to try and radiate the reason why you're there and have that, you know, touch other people too. And their reason, as you saw, does not have to be the same as your reason why you stay active. But as long as you're showing that passion, you're showing that purpose, you're connecting with other people, you're building that community, that's really what you want to see. And that's what helps your retention efforts. So another reason why retention is important, it demonstrates you have many members enjoying your club and created a place that people want to come back to. And I said before also, it's a good indicator of the type of environment you are creating. So people want to come back to that environment, that it's all those words that I said before that are fun, where you have empathetic people, you know, that you're really driven and you're passionate about something together. The better retention leads to more people helping towards your efforts too. So whether that's that big event that you love, or your other programming, your week-to-week programming, your collaborative programs that some of you said, you know, keep you coming back, your recruitment efforts, all that stuff helps you. If you have good retention, all of those areas of your organization will also be thriving at that same time. It improves your organization's like reputation and standing. And by reputation, I don't mean like this organization's #1 and that one's number 57. No, it knows that you guys have integrity and you have the passion, and that other people on campus know that you guys are passionate about what you're doing, and that other people want to be a part of that effort as well, whether that's supporting you through collaborative events or that's just attending your big events during the semester. When other people know that you guys have that community, that you have that good base of members, they want to support you with either them as individuals or other organizations. Also, sometimes having a lot of people that are active and that are having that good member retention can help towards your Tiger Stripes packages. So sometimes when you have those dedicated people, that when you have good retention, that only helps you with Tiger Stripes, because it's more people to go to leadership lunches, and it doesn't have to be a high amount of people too, like I said earlier. You have that strong base of reliable people that can go to leadership lunches, that can go to different events on campus like Leadership Catalyst or other Tiger Stripes opportunities to help you guys grow and get to that package 4 if that's your aim. And it also helps in general foster a strong organization. Okay, so again, I can put this question in the chat, but I'm going to do a little Jamboard here, which I have done in the past. Let's see. Okay, so the question is going to be, what are some retention techniques your organization has utilized? So I'm going to put that in the chat along with the Jamboard so you guys can type in it. Okay, so you can click on that Jamboard, you can add a sticky note. So if anyone has experience with any retention techniques that they've used, what are they? And then the way to do it is you can select sticky note and then type out whatever.
Hey, Carl, you gotta make it public.
Oh,
Yeah, they have to request access.
oh no. I apologize. It says anyone with the link. Okay, let me refresh from here. Okay, I'm going to copy the link again in the chat, and hopefully that will work. Apologies.
Still says view only for me.
Oh no. No, and it says on my thing that it's public, so that's not good. Okay, well, if that doesn't work, you can also I have the question in the chat, and you can also respond in the chat too. I apologize if that's not working. Okay, let's see. Building relationships, empathy, compassion, relatable, maintaining connections, staying active on social media. Definitely, that's it. That one definitely is a big one, especially in today's society. When on social media, you can use to tell people when your events are, and even something small like that can help them just know, okay, this event is on this day, and I want to come back to it. Okay. Sat down and openly and honestly discussed our genuine goals for our group. Yeah, that's definitely super important as well, because then you guys are all working towards the same goals, and that's very important. Prayer, follow-up fellowship, getting member feedback, helping members build their resume. So doing something that's also going to have a career end for them. That's very cool. Summaries at the end of meetings. Definitely one of the most important things, which I'll touch on later too, is getting members' opinions and see what they want to happen. What do they want out of their member experience in your organization? So when you're in that leadership role, you can help determine what your semesters are going to be like, and what events you're going to run. So when you're in that position, you can really take that feedback and apply it to what you're doing. Encouraging members to bring friends. Yeah, encouraging members to bring friends not only helps with retention of current members, but also helps with recruitment of future members. So that's great. Getting to know people through deep conversation helps build community. Definitely. Awesome. Okay. So I'll keep it going. Okay. Okay, so 5 ways that I've seen to increase member retention is building a community, which a lot of you guys touched on, personalizing the experience, and having incentives, opportunities, and suggestions. So I'm going to go into all of these in more detail. Okay, so first, building a community. So create programming that gives an opportunity to establish relationships with others. So I know sometimes, and also not just programming, meetings too. Sometimes meetings, especially in my personal experience as a student org member, sometimes we're a lot of leadership talking to the rest of the organization. So if you can, even if it's a small 5 to 10 minute activity where you guys really get the opportunity to talk to each other, whether that's doing an icebreaker or an activity, that can really change your members' mindset on how the whole meeting went. So giving them an opportunity to talk and not just be talked at. Taking time to create a safe space for your members to voice their thoughts, opinions, and feeling valued. I know one way that we did this when I was in Greek life is we, at the beginning, before the semester started, we had like a small retreat on campus for about only an hour or 2 hours. And we kind of went over different expectations that we all had for the organization and what things that we could do together to create a safe and non-judgmental space for each other to have open conversations with. So sometimes this is beneficial, not just for the general members, but also for the people in leadership, as sometimes I know in organizations, it is hard to retain people in leadership positions, and you don't want them to experience that burnout due to a leadership position. So you want to do everything that you can to get them to keep coming back and to feel like that they're welcome and that this is a safe space, despite them having, you know, a large role in your organization and a lot of different responsibilities that sometimes can cloud how they feel about the organization. Also engage new and current members at all organizational events. Also, in my experience in different clubs I was in, sometimes it can be really overwhelming for new members. And I know, of course, current members want to all talk to each other as they have those relationships. And sometimes they already have that community, but really integrating the current members with new and potential members can help motivate current members by having them, you know, share their experiences with the organization, and share, you know, sometimes maybe a fun memory or something from an event with new members, and also make new members feel more connected by not being as isolated from current and active members. Also, the feeling of being welcome and valued in the community will encourage people to come back. And I know a couple different ways some of my organizations did stuff like this. Was either like writing a member a thank you note for, you know, an amazing big event that they planned, or even just doing an activity where you get to do, I know I've done it in a lot of different organizations, but you have like a brown paper bag and then you get to write on pieces of paper, you know, different things that you appreciate about other people in your organizations. And then you can like anonymously put it in the bags. That can be a really good way to build community and, you know, have people have that time to reflect on, wow, this person, you know, really did these things or has really helped me out in this way. And I want them to keep coming back to the organization. I want to show them how much they're appreciated here and how much a part of, you know, how big of a role in this community that they play. So sometimes that can be a really good opportunity for members to feel appreciated and feel like they're a part of something. Create an experience you and your members are proud to share with others. So everything you're doing, you want to be able to, you know, talk highly of your student organization and, you know, be proud of all your efforts. So just, you know, you want to create the experience that you're really going to enjoy. And then, you know, in time, you'll reflect back and be like, wow, that thing that we did, that event, that program, that meeting, we really, you know, did a great job. And we have all these connections now that we can have when we leave Towson. Okay, second. So make your members' experience personalized. So sometimes, especially with retention efforts regarding inactive members or members that are kind of gradually going off and not being as active as they used to, sometimes it just takes a text, a Facebook message, Instagram, in-person interactions, any of those things. That's the easiest method of communication. Sometimes it just takes reaching out to them individually to get them coming back to your organization. So that can really play a big role when you reach out individually instead of in like a big group email to show like you're appreciated and we want you back here. So that's definitely a big deal. Create programming where members have opportunities to connect one-on-one. And I talked about that in my community slide as well. Having that one-to-one interaction and relationships can be really motivating for people. Recognize members for their accomplishments and rewards that they receive outside of your organization. So whether that's they got like a really great scholarship award, or they got some, I don't know, maybe they do track outside of your organization and got some award for that. But just recognizing them in a meeting or at a program and just showing that you as an organization are proud of them and all of their outside achievements will also help them keep coming back and personalize their experience as well. Motivate members to want to come back due to connections and enjoyment of experience. So that's just making sure that everyone is connected to one another and that you know, members are really being heard out by the organization leaders and enjoying their experience. Offer incentives for members. So I say in this slide, everyone loves free stuff, me included. So whether that's food or club swag. Sometimes just little stuff like that can very much encourage people to come back if they've been inactive for a little while. Sometimes making your own incentive system, such as your own Tiger Stripes program, where maybe if someone has perfect attendance to your club meetings, they get X prize, or they get, certain recognition that other people don't get. That can be really rewarding to people to be recognized for meeting certain goals. And incentives don't have to be physical prizes. As I just said, they can also be priority to go on organization trips if you can only take limited number of members, gaining leadership roles or other positions, or just having a verbal recognition at a meeting. Also during recruitment, existing members can sometimes gain incentives for bringing prospects with them. And I know that was, and some of the organizations I was a part of, it was like, you get a candy bag if you bring one member or whatever, just something like really small like that. And it, again, doesn't have to be a tangible physical thing. It can be something else, but sometimes just saying that will motivate people to come themselves, and not only just come and be present themselves, but also bring other people. Reward active members for being active. And that's why I said the verbal recognition at club meetings, etc. Give your members opportunities. So give them a chance to lead a meeting on a topic they're passionate about. Many members, sometimes it's hard for them to talk to leadership, and sometimes that can be daunting for them. So sometimes just saying it casually in a meeting, hey, if anyone has something they're passionate about, they want to lead, program, a meeting, we're open to that. Just opening that door, giving them an opportunity to grow. A lot of people are interested in social opportunities. And I know some of you said you stay active in your orgs because you love the collaborative events. So giving members opportunities to be involved in that planning of those collaborative events and attending them can be very motivating. Provide them resources to network, make connections, and additional opportunities that will support them outside of your organization. So I know someone said that their organization, they did like a resume workshop. That is great. And that's, again, another way that you're supporting them, not just as a member of your organization, but as a person and as a student that will be graduating at some point, that will be looking for a job. That's really a great way to support them and show that your organization cares about them and wants them to come back as a person. So that's really great. Opportunities to attend conferences and travel. So I know some groups, depending on your package number, will have opportunities to do stuff like this. So if your members keep coming back, sometimes you can offer them these opportunities, and this also kind of goes under the incentive category as well. Sorry. Take member suggestions and make changes. Make your members happy. So this can be done, and someone said they did this already, so props to you. An informal discussion or online survey, just giving your members those opportunities to learn and grow, and actually making changes based on their feedback. They'll make them feel like their input is valued and it's being heard, and that you're actively making changes based on it. So just doing something small, and like the surveys, of course, they can be totally anonymous, which makes it easy for your members to give honest feedback, and then really have meetings with your leadership team about, okay, so this is not going well, or this is going well. What are we going to do about it now? Members seeing that progression of you actually taking their feedback into mind can be really helpful. Play fun and entertaining games and have fun, and which is the next slide too. Yes, increase retention, have fun, that always helps. My favorite ways to increase retention is to integrate fun activities such as Kahoot, Heads Up, potlucks with food, playing games, etc. into any organization weekly meeting, just doing something that's short and that can be really fun and motivate people to come. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is just some questions that you can ask to increase retention. You can use these in a survey. and I'll share the slideshow so you can read them later. And you can also create a retention committee in charge of reaching out to members who are inactive or have drastically decreased their level of activeness, just to have someone that's their personal responsibility to help with that retention effort. And okay, you guys can put this in the chat. What have you learned that you can apply to your group during the spring 2023 semester? Let's see if I can see it. I'm going to copy the question. I just put the question in the chat in case anyone needs it. Okay, let's see. And feel free to unmute too, whatever you're the most comfortable with in terms of sharing. Getting to know individual members more, definitely. We can dedicate someone to help retain retention by reaching out. Exactly. Yeah. And I know in some organizations that I was in, we had a retention like chair or committee, as I said in the slide, and that really helped with those retention efforts. Individual conversations with members, get to know them better, have more fun or social events. If we want to see growth, we must be willing to go the extra mile to engage members. Yeah, and sometimes going the extra mile, really, it doesn't require that much. Sometimes it just requires changing one part of how your meeting's structured, or adding one kind of fun event, or doing one thing or something throughout the semester to get feedback. Stuff like that, it just can really help. Receiving feedback, being more personal, and asking more questions about people in the club, giving members opportunity to share, having more ways for members to reach out, definitely. So sometimes, whether that's having a person that they can reach out to, or whether that's doing one of these surveys and they can say what they want in that works too. Making sure that individual relationships are formed in your organization, and making more opportunities available to all members. Yes, I think that's really important too, especially when some members see that leadership is offered X opportunities, but they're only offered, a small amount of opportunities that can make them feel a certain way. So as many opportunities as you can, trying to offer that to general members can help a lot too. Okay. And with that, does anyone have any questions? Feel free to type them in the chat, but I think our time is almost done. And thank you guys so much for coming to my session. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course. And the slides will be available. They'll be sent out. So if you want to reference them again, you will have all access to them. Of course. Thank you guys.
So it's funny listening to your presentation, Carly, after hearing James's talk. It's like uncanny the amount of overlap that goes into like building a community and retaining members, if you think about it. And I like your points about building a personalized experience, because that directly tied to what James was talking about, of creating that one-on-one connection, of asking questions, right? Trying to know people on more than just the surface level, because ultimately people come back to their organizations because of the relationships they build, right? So if you're taking an active interest in your members and you're encouraging other members to take an active interest in each other, that's going to build that feeling of community. That's going to keep your organization strong. So I like that.
Definitely. Thanks, Chris.
So we're going to give, I think there's a couple other sessions that still haven't let out yet. So we'll give them a second here to populate back into the chat. I'm going to do this real quick. Set this